Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Welcome to Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, streaming live here today on Facebook, YouTube channel, and Instagram. So, welcome this evening, folks. Welcome to Worldwide Sport Updates. Again, your podcast, your news, to get the latest updates from your host, Joseph Hadid. Welcome to the show, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Nationwide, worldwide, wherever you are that's tuning in, welcome to Worldwide Sport Updates on October 16th, 2021. Well, everybody, again, we are right now streaming also live here on StreamYard. This is pretty awesome stuff nonetheless. So this is really good that we are streaming live to you guys on StreamYard and sharing it with everybody out there that is tuning in. So welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. I appreciate you guys. October 16th again, 2021. So how's everybody doing on this Saturday? Again, hopefully everybody had a great weekend. He's having a great weekend. Not to mention Halloween Kills is now live and in theaters and also streaming on Peacock, even though this is not sports related, but we wanted to throw some Halloween movies out there. A lot of people are busy watching that this week, and it's the most popular movie out there right now. Again, to all the Michael Myers fans out there, to all the Halloween fans in general that are watching that, it's a great movie to watch. Can't miss. So tune in for that. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody's Saturday going? Hopefully tomorrow your Sunday is also better than today. So we're glad to be a part of this Saturday with everybody we're sharing it with. So glad everybody's tuning in. Again, welcome to Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news. We got a lot to cover this evening, folks. So a lot happened throughout the week. Not to mention congratulations. Let's talk NFL first. Congratulations to Lamar Jackson, folks. On Monday Night Football, what a performance against the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Baltimore Ravens, I believe, they were down 19 points. What's going on, Eric? Welcome to the show, buddy. The Baltimore Ravens were down 19 points on Monday Night Football against the Indianapolis Colts. And this is going back to week 5 of the NFL. I just wanted to congratulate the Baltimore Ravens on a stellar heck of a performance coming back from a 19-point deficit and beating the Indianapolis Colts. What a great performance by Lamar Jackson. He continues to improve each and every day. And not to mention, a couple of weeks back under the lights where they beat the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and that, beat up defense. Again, they continue just to impress, each and every day, the Baltimore Ravens. And speaking of the Baltimore Ravens, and we're going to talk about the NFL tomorrow because it's going to be an NFL show tomorrow morning. Again, tomorrow morning, Sunday, it will be from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to talk Baltimore Ravens next matchup in week 6 against the Los Angeles Chargers. That's going to be a heck of a performance, folks. It is going to be the 4-1 team Chargers versus the 4-1 team Baltimore Ravens. And tomorrow, I'm going to give you analysis and predictions and exactly who is my favorite for that game tomorrow night. For tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a stellar heck of a performance. But today, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the focal point. It's going to be about college football games. We're going to talk about a lot of college football games. Not to mention there was a lot of upsets today in college football. And we're going to get to the latest on that. Also, we're going to talk some NBA news. We're going to talk NHL hockey as well because NHL hockey, ladies and gentlemen, their season just got underway and started. I know the Flyers played yesterday and they lost their season opener. So we'll get to Flyers in the NHL hockey in a couple minutes here. So we'll talk NHL hockey, we'll talk NBA basketball, and also we're going to talk some NBA news. The preseason for the NBA, though, wraps up, I believe, today. I'm pretty sure they wrap up their games today. Or no, they wrapped them up yesterday, I believe. Yep. So the NBA wrapped up their last NBA preseason games yesterday. So we'll get to all the final scores from the NBA preseason in a couple of minutes on this show. Not to mention the Los Angeles Lakers, ladies and gentlemen, who finished the preseason winless, 0-6. 0-6. Ridiculous. What does that mean going into the regular season? I mean, not to mention we saw a little bit of action from Russell Westbrook. We saw a little bit of action from LeBron James. We saw some action from Anthony Davis. And ladies and gentlemen, again, not much could really convince us to what we're going to be looking forward to this upcoming season for the NBA. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk Ben Simmons, who finally pretty much woke up. He pretty much woke up. Yeah, that's the latest from Ben Simmons. He woke up. So we'll get to a little bit more of Ben Simmons shortly here. And also, we're going to talk Kyrie Irving, folks. Now, I kind of see there is a little bit of a comparison. I mean, not a comparison. There is a little bit of an approach here in the NBA regarding Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving. And what's the latest here? Now, we don't want to jump into, conclusions, or we don't want to jump into assumptions. We don't want to make accusations. We don't want to jump to exactly what's going on with Kyrie Irving here. Now, a lot of people, I mean, they're in favor of Kyrie, and there's some people that are not in favor of Kyrie. I mean, the approach that he's taking, some people are in favor. Some people they just think he's very delusional. He's not taking the right approach pretty much on, but again, a lot of people are in favor of what he's doing. Definitely a lot of people are in favor of what he's doing. So we'll get to Kyrie. We'll get to Ben Simmons. We'll get to NBA preseason final coverage of the NBA scores. We'll also get to NHL games. Some of the regular season for the NHL hockey definitely has gone underway now. And we're going to talk college football games. Today's college football Saturday. We got a lot of upsets too. Crazy upsets in college football today. Not to mention, I believe, let's break that. I think I got a latest report here on Baylor upsetting the ranked number 19 BYU. Final score from there is 38-24. So yeah, BYU just got upset by Baylor, folks. So that's an upset coming in. Not to mention, I think number 2 ranked Iowa just also fell in an upset. Also, ladies and gentlemen, more news coming in from Sean Clifford. Penn State is on a bye week, by the way. So Sean Clifford should be ready to go. Okay, Penn State is on a bye week this week. So they should be ready to go next week against, I believe they play against Illinois at 12 p.m. Eastern. So I think So they have a bye week this week, and the next week they play Illinois. So that would be a 12 p.m. Eastern time game. So it's pretty much noon kickoff time. So, but they're on the bye week this week. They're on the bye. So yeah, that's the latest coming from there. But yeah, we're gonna talk, ladies and gentlemen, college football. We're gonna talk. Also, we're gonna talk Thursday night football from the NFL between the Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, that score, ladies and gentlemen, came back the final, and we're gonna get to sports gamblers how they felt about that game. The final score from that one: Tampa Bay Buccaneers 28, Philadelphia Eagles 22. So we're gonna definitely talk about that. Again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start by talking about that, actually. Let's kick off the show here talking about the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, folks, it did not go the way we expected. Again, a lot of pretty much we could say that everybody was in favor of the Tampa Bay Bucs. They looked really good on paper, and they improved to 5-1, not to mention. So a lot of people expected the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game. I don't know if anybody really picked the Philadelphia Eagles to win this matchup on Thursday. But again, ladies and gentlemen, the final score of that game was 28-22. But I want to talk about something more than the final score here. By the way, Tampa Bay Buccaneers improved to 5-1 on the season, and the Philadelphia Eagles, they fall to 2-4. And by the way, the Philadelphia Eagles' next matchup is against the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah. And we're going to get into the Las Vegas Raiders in a couple minutes here. Again, not the controversy. Well, should I say controversy, or should I call it a propaganda? I mean, guys, I don't know what's going on with the Las Vegas organization, with that franchise right now. A lot of speculations are going around that There's emails that they've been talking, they've been attacking him, that been happening the last 10 years on John Gruden's emails, and now they finally recovered in his emails. They really got pretty much live and an affair here, like live and well, pretty much is where I'm getting at here. John Gruden has been attacked after attacking him from his 10-year emails that he distributed regarding racist comments being distributed through his emails that he published. And it doesn't look good. I mean, I got a lot of reports and news coming out that Madden NFL, the 2022 video game, are thinking about getting rid of John Gruden. And now also reports are coming in that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting rid of John Gruden, from the Ring of Honor too. So it doesn't look good for the Raiders franchise and organization, especially going into midseason right now. Now that the Raiders have to rely on their interim head coach, and a lot of people are still digging on an official head coach too, and rumors are going around that they might go after Doug Peterson. So something to keep an eye out right there. That the Las Vegas Raiders might make a run for Doug Peterson to be probably the official head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. So something to definitely look into, these next couple of weeks, as we keep an eye open on exactly what the Las Vegas Raiders approach is going to be after this Sunday. I don't know who they play again. I mean, we'll get into all the Raiders games. I mean, we'll get into Raiders topic tomorrow morning, and who they face. But I don't really want to get into much right now regarding the Las Vegas Raiders, except that now they have to rely on an interim head coach, and now they got to think after this Sunday, what's their next move? I mean, are they going to look for a official head coach to bring into their franchise organization? What's the latest? Or is the interim head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders just going to continue carrying this team through the rest of the season? So we'll keep an eye on that for you guys. We'll definitely bring you the latest update on exactly what's going to happen with the Las Vegas Raiders approach moving forward. But that's the Philadelphia Eagles' next opponent is at Las Vegas, going into week 7 of the NFL. But ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much. Now let me go back to again the Philadelphia Eagles versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Thursday night's matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with these taunting penalties? All right, not to mention, ladies and gentlemen, I watched the game, and not to mention I saw a couple highlights after the game was over, and ladies and gentlemen, during the game, Tom Brady had an altercation with a Philadelphia Eagle player, and there was no penalties, none whatsoever called by Tom Brady hitting that Philadelphia Eagles player. What's going on there? And I mean, again, not to mention some unnecessary calls, and then not to mention, I think there was like a pass interference that wasn't called during the game, I believe, where that was a missed opportunity. It was just unbearable to watch, folks. It was just unbearable to watch. How that game really unfolded. I mean, it was a 28-22, but then the Eagles definitely, they scored in the first half, putting 7 points up to answer after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers answered on their first play of the drive in the first half. But then after that, the Eagles just had no answer for them until the second half. And that's pretty much your ball game there. Not to mention O.J. Howard got a touchdown in that Thursday night matchup between the Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really know what to say. Again, the GOAT is the GOAT. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He just continues to amazes each and every week, folks. Yeah, it's crazy, folks. It really is. It really is. But that's pretty much, again, a lot of taunting that should not have been taunting, and then a lot of calls that were being called that should have been called, a lot of missed opportunities too. That the Eagles should have capitalized on, and they never did. And not to mention, folks, what really bothers me by the Philadelphia Eagles is they're not using Miles Sanders. The running game is not being shown by the Philadelphia Eagles, folks. It really is not, and that's what really disappoints me. And a lot of Eagle fans out there that are Eagle fans out there, folks. It's really bothering a lot of people that the Philadelphia Eagles are not using the running game effectively. They're not using Miles Sanders the best way they need to use Miles Sanders. The ground game is just not there, and Philadelphia needs to definitely address that. I don't know why all of a sudden they like the pass so much more than they like to use the running game effectively. I just don't understand the Philadelphia Eagles organization. I just don't, none whatsoever. I just don't know what kind of football team does not run the ball much. It's just, how are you going to win football games if you don't use the running game effectively? Is my general statement here to all of you folks out there that are listening in. I just don't know how you guys can win football games if you don't use the running game. And not to mention, you got to mix it up here and there. And the Philadelphia Eagles are just sticking to their passing game more and more than it's just the running game is not. It's not confident. It's not even there. It's not even there for the Philadelphia Eagles franchise, for this organization. I just don't know. Again, not to mention, you go back, during their Super Bowl run back in 2018, where they were a great football team. They were clicking on both sides of the ball. On both cylinders, not to mention offense and defense. And they were running the ball when they had LeGarrette Blount on their team back in 2018 when they won their Super Bowl in their franchise history. And again, folks, ever since then, when Doug Peterson got shipped out, and then Carson Wentz going to Indianapolis, a lot of things just have not been the same for the Philadelphia Eagles organization. And again, folks, I just don't know how this Philadelphia Eagles team can get by to even thinking about winning when they cannot use the running game effectively. And not to mention, folks, something else really, really bothered me in that Thursday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I felt like they were depending so much on Jalen Hurst, and not to mention they really wanted. I don't know if he was being protected a lot too, but they wanted to use him as a running quarterback and attack that defense. Use his running legs very effectively, and they wanted to use him more than they wanted to use Miles Sanders, folks. And that, with me, does not work out at all. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, if I was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, my approach would be before game day would be to have Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurst both attack that defense on all aspects of the game. Their game plan approach is both of them need to be very effective, and not to mention neutral. They need to pretty much higher up their gear. Those guys need to be the dominant playmakers, the dynamic duos, for them to be that legitimate playmakers that the team is definitely relying on, especially when it comes to that offensive line that you really depend on from the Philadelphia Eagles. And if that offensive line, ladies and gentlemen, if they continue protecting Jalen Hurst and they block, open wide running game path for Miles Sanders, then the Eagles club could be very dangerous and very effective. They could definitely attack that defense where they definitely need to tackle, and they could possibly continue trying to figuring out their rhythm, and they're figuring out their scheme and executing their approach and studying film to figuring out exactly what they're doing wrong, and have Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts be those effective dynamic playmakers that you guys really truly expect out of Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders, especially, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to keep bringing this up, but those guys they're in their 20s, folks. They're very healthy. They're very they can do damage when it needs to be, when they expect them to be, and they're just not using them, and that's what's hurting the Philadelphia Eagles, folks. I truly believe that's what's hurting them, and they're gonna have to figure something out. I mean, they go up against the Raiders in Week 7. And I'll tell you what, going to Las Vegas, especially in an indoor environment, they can't afford to fall to 2-5. They just can't. They have to figure out how to weigh to pick up a victory and improve to 3-4. They have to. But we'll talk about that. A little bit more on tomorrow morning's show. We'll talk about more of the Las Vegas Raiders, and we'll talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next opponent tomorrow's show. But all I can say is, again, congratulations to the GOAT. Congratulations to Tom Brady. And again, they improved to 5-1 on the season, folks, and they just continue to get better each and every week. And again, OJ Howard got a touchdown in Thursday's matchup, and Leonard Fournette was very effective. And also, I believe the other running back, Jones, I believe. Yeah, he was very, very good as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just continue to be on a rampage in the day, each and every day. Impressive nonetheless by Tom Brady's stats. I don't think I think he turned the ball once, I believe, in that football game on Thursday. So I think he has 3 interceptions and maybe 13, 14 touchdowns on the season, or 12. The guy just continues to be very impressive nonetheless. And it's awesome performance by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, we'll get to all that and more tomorrow's show. We'll focus more on Tom Brady's next opponent going into Week 7. Now they get the rest, 10 days. They have 10 days off now until their next game. And not to mention the Philadelphia Eagles, they have a 10-day rest, which they kind of need because they don't get their bye week until Week 14. Tough. They don't get their bye week until mid-December. So having this 10-day off rest for the Philadelphia Eagles is really good for them because they get to figure out what they really need to do to have their answers solved, their questions to be answered and solved going into Allegiant Stadium in Week 7 against the Raiders. So we'll definitely see how that matchup fares out and going into Week 7 for the Philadelphia Eagles. But they need to pick up a victory. They can't continue to lose, for that matter. And we'll see how it fares and it turns out for them. All right. So again, final score, ladies and gentlemen, 28-22 was your final matchup. Tampa Bay came up victorious in your Thursday night football matchup. So awesome stuff. That was your Week 6 matchup, by the way. So again, they continue to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have a lot of people come on the show today. I know there's a lot of boxing going on from the UFC, and then we're going to talk NBA games, wrapping up the final preseason of the NBA. We're going to talk NHL games as the Nhl Hockey regular season gets underway. So call me at 610-770-3698. Let's get you guys on the air and talk sports, or chime on here. Comment below what you think about this podcast. What's your latest on college football games, as we're going to get to them in a couple minutes here. And we're going to talk again, Ben Simmons' report, who is now all of a sudden he wake up and he's officially now come into his terms that he's now rejoining the Philadelphia 76ers. And we'll also talk Kyrie Irving. So we're going to get to all that. here throughout your podcast, your news, worldwide sport updates. All right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully everybody's having a great Saturday. Nonetheless, thank you all of you for tuning in on this Saturday night. I appreciate you all. Nonetheless, you guys are a great audience, so to speak. I mean, just coming on here and showing the support and love, it really means a lot. And again, we're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on Instagram, we're streaming on our official YouTube channel. Yeah, can you believe it? Our own YouTube channel, folks, and we're streaming live. It's incredibly insane. So if you guys have the chance, I mean, I know a lot of people are busy out there. Get the chance to go on YouTube and subscribe. All in one word: Worldwide Sport Updates. You see it at the bottom of the lower third screen. Worldwide Sport Updates. Smash that red button and subscribe and hit the bell notification to always get the latest updates on when we're streaming live and getting the latest report on your sports news that is happening around the world of our sports industry and sports generation. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's our commitment. That's our commitment to you. That's our dedication to you. And folks, not to mention last week when we officially made our debut on Friday, October 8th, that was the official debut of Worldwide Sport Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been doing really good. I mean, the last 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we've been reaching high level. Worldwide Sport Updates has been getting noticed these past couple weeks. So that's, again, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough. I mean, this is all to you guys. I mean, without you guys, we would not have an audience. So again, I really greatly appreciate it nonetheless. And this is what it's all about, folks. This is what it's all about, So, getting yourself out there, networking, and distributing your sports news each and every day by doing research and delivering it to the best of pretty much our knowledge and our ability here with you guys on this 4-hour show. So again, folks, hopefully you guys tuned in to the recorded podcast. It was distributed yesterday. We went over the Jacksonville Jaguars news and Urban Meyer's. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksonville Jaguars organization now has suffered their 20th consecutive loss in their franchise organization. You're dating back to talking about, ladies and gentlemen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 1976 and 1977. The history goes back to dating them in 1976 and 1977, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then the Chicago Bears, ladies and gentlemen, who lost again 20th consecutive game. And the Jaguars has definitely joined them on that list for 20th consecutive loss. And that Jaguars team just could not figure out how to win a football game. And I don't think they're going to do very well this upcoming week either. But we'll talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars tomorrow morning on our Sunday podcast edition. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know. I don't know if the Jaguars could pick up a win. I really don't know, but we'll get to them tomorrow morning on the latest. We'll get to them again. Like I said, we'll get into them tomorrow a little bit more, and we'll see, if they could definitely pick up a victory. We're gonna see where they officially have what it takes, and has Urban Meyer definitely earned that trust and that leadership in that locker room for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nonetheless, I mean, that's what it's all about, folks. That coach needs to be a true leader, and not to mention, he needs to have a full trust team behind him. That chemistry also has to be there, folks, for them to think about winning any games. But reports have been coming again this past week that Trevor Lawrence is definitely committed to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's not going anywhere in the suitable future. So he's definitely going to be sticking around a lot. And he really had nothing much to say about Urban Meyer. Again, Urban Meyer is it's all on him pretty much, and the way he develops as a person, his characteristics, his personality as a coach. He needs just to figure out how to have that team come together again and have that fully trusted for the players to fully trust in him again, to start winning football games for that organization, for that franchise, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they need to get back to where they need to be as a team unit, of course. And hopefully they figure it out tomorrow. But we'll get to we'll definitely get to Jacksonville tomorrow on our Sunday edition of Talking NFL and giving out your analysis and your predictions and going through exactly what the Jacksonville Jaguars need to pick up a victory. All right. So that's pretty much, and then again, Tampa Bay, we did recap them being on a rampage when they beat the Miami Dolphins in Raymond James Stadium on a beautiful day. We did talk about that on the recorded podcast. And then also on the recorded podcast, we talked about Michael Jordan, who is coming into this NBA community, coming together regarding NBA vaccination. And he's making a stand and making his voice heard regarding players getting vaccinated. We did talk about that. And then we did throw some NHL hockey news there about Aaron Brooks, I believe, or Aaron Brooks, who left the Toronto Maple Leafs and went to the Montreal Canadiens after signing, I think, with Toronto last offseason, $1.45 million deal. And also we did recap, I believe, Major League Baseball playoffs where the White Sox, I think, they lost, I believe. No, excuse me. There were speculations about sign stealing regarding the Astros and the White Sox. And ladies and gentlemen, the Astros, there was implications and there were speculations going on. Somebody from the White Sox were implying that the Astros were sign stealing at Minute Maid Park the first two games of the playoffs, and the Astros definitely made a statement where the White Sox had no answer for the Houston Astros, and they advanced to face the Boston Red Sox. And I believe we do have some Major League Baseball updates regarding that. So let's get into baseball updates here, folks. So the the Red Sox definitely advanced to the American League Championship Series. And let's see here. So, all right, so let's talk about, the Red Sox advanced, and I believe yesterday the Astros beat them in Game 1, 5-4. That was that matchup right there between the Red Sox and the Astros. And currently, right now, going into Game 2 between the Red Sox and the Astros. And ladies and gentlemen, there's something that I need like to pinpoint out to you regarding Major League Baseball updates I want to share. Congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. They officially made some history here. So the Red Sox become the first team in Major League Baseball history with 2 grand slams in a postseason game. Awesome performance there by the Boston Red Sox going into Game 2's matchup, which Houston leads right now 1-0. And currently right now that game is ongoing in Game 2. The score right now is Boston 9, Houston Astros 3. So the Boston Red Sox are definitely closing in on making this series tied 1-1 apiece. So again, congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. They officially made postseason Major League Baseball history in hitting 2 grand slams to start the start of the game of Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. And we're close, ladies and gentlemen. We're close to crowning a winner here. To who do you guys believe are going to advance to the World Series? I mean, this is some crazy stuff. I mean, you only got pretty much 4 teams remaining here. You got the Astros, you got the Red Sox left, you got the Dodgers who beat the Giants, and you got the Braves. So, who do you believe will be representing in the World Series? I mean, do you like the Braves versus the Red Sox? Do you like the Braves versus the Astros? Do you like the Dodgers versus the Astros again? What a rematch that would be. Do you like the Dodgers versus the Red Sox? I mean, let me know. Let me know what you guys think about it. I mean, that's going to be a very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting World Series. I mean, not to mention if it does turn out to be the Red Sox, ladies and gentlemen, versus if it does turn out to be the Dodgers versus the Astros in the World Series, I mean, what an epic rematch would that be if the Dodgers could somehow beat the Houston Astros and win a world championship? I mean, that team is just, again, they're attacking them with all these sign-stealing scandals and everything. That's what the Houston Astros are known for, because they've been that team that is definitely capable of doing the impossible, of sign-stealing. And I just don't know how a franchise Major League Baseball team like that could get away with it. And a lot of people still in today's Major League Baseball coverage that is going on, they're still implying on the Houston Astros sign stealing as it continues. But again, it's a never-ending story, folks. It's a never-ending story nonetheless. So we'll see what definitely truly happens here. But again, we got only 4 teams left. We got, again, like I said, the Red Sox, the Astros, we got the Dodgers, and the Braves. So who do you really like to represent in the World Series? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, it comes down to only those four teams that are definitely still in the thick of things. All right. So right now, folks, end of the 7th inning here in Major League Baseball. The Red Sox currently are leading the Astros 9-3 in that matchup. I think Game 2 between the Dodgers and the Braves will be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. That is a 7:30 p.m. game tomorrow. Game 2, ladies and gentlemen, between the Dodgers and the Braves. Game 1, however, will be today. It will be at, I think, 8:08, so 1 hour away from Game 1 of the NLCS between the Dodgers and the Braves. So we'll give you live coverage on that game, and we'll keep you up to date throughout our 4-hour show here on the latest update between the Dodgers and the Braves. But Game 1 will start tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And again, ladies and gentlemen, to recap yesterday's game between the Astros and the Red Sox, the Red Sox lost that game in Game 1, 5-4, and the Astros lead currently 1-0 in that American League Championship Series round. Again, 1-0 is your lead in that ball game right there. So a lot of good games going on in Major League Baseball. So again, as far as Game 1 between the NLCS, we'll keep you up to date on Dodgers and Braves throughout this 4-hour show. Again, we'll give you the loop on everything that's happening around Major League Baseball. Not to mention the Red Sox, again, currently are leading the Houston Astros 9-3 going into the 8th inning of that matchup. So something to look forward to throughout the night here. All right. Okay. All right. So let's continue here throughout this 4-hour show for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go through. So we did give you Major League Baseball updates. Let's go over go over college football games on your Saturday. Sorry for the distraction, by the way. I'm getting a little bit distracted here. All right. So let's see. Okay. So let's go over. Okay. All right. So let's go over college football games for you folks. All right. Again, we had a lot of upsets in college football. Right now, currently, ladies and gentlemen, Rice at Texas San Antonio. Texas San Antonio is leading 31-0 in halftime right now. So Rice is getting wiped out in that matchup. Right now, currently in the first quarter, Alabama, who is ranked number 5, the Alabama Tides against Mississippi State. Alabama is currently leading 7-3 in that game. Utah State at UNLV. Again, that score is UNLV 17, Utah State 7. First quarter with 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in that ball game. End of the first quarter, your score is still 0-0 between Liberty and UL Monroe. Colorado State at New Mexico. Colorado is currently leading 7-0. Stanford at Washington State is currently getting underway. So let's see if that matchup has officially started. Let's see. Colorado. Yeah, so Colorado is up right now. Against New Mexico. So Colorado State is currently up against New Mexico 7-0. Again, 17-7 between UNLV and Utah State. 0-0 is the score between Liberty and UL Monroe. Stanford at Washington State. That score is currently 0-0, about to start right now. Iowa State at Kansas State. Iowa's up 7-0 against Kansas State right now. So Iowa State is up against Kansas State 7-0 in that matchup. Texas Christian at Oklahoma. That game is getting underway. And we have a lot of games still getting underway here right now. North Carolina State at Boston College. Mississippi ranked number 14 at Tennessee, who is unranked in their college football program. And let's now go over the final scores that happened in college football earlier today. So here are the latest to go for you guys that happened earlier today in college football. Texas A&M beat Missouri 35-14. Auburn beat Arkansas 38-23. Florida Gators, who are ranked number 17, ladies and gentlemen, lost in an upset against Louisiana State 49-42. What a game that was. 32-24, Oklahoma State beat Texas 32-24. Central Florida, UCF did not look so good against the Cincinnati Bearcats, who are ranked number 4 in their college football program. Cincinnati Bearcats beat Central Florida 56-21 in that matchup. And then Tulsa, they beat South Florida 32-31. And Michigan State, again, congratulations to the Michigan State Spartans, who are just on a unbelievable season as they improve to 7-0 in their college football program in the Big Ten standings, and not to mention 4-0 in their overall conference. So Michigan State, ladies and gentlemen, they improved to 7-0. They beat, again, Indiana 20-15 in that matchup. Awesome stuff there by the Michigan State Spartans as they continue just an incredible season nonetheless, with no losses on their college football program record. Nebraska at Minnesota. Minnesota beat Nebraska 30-23 in that game. Rutgers lost to Northwestern 21-17. Ohio at Buffalo. Buffalo beat Ohio 27-26. Yale, they lost to Connecticut. Actually, Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have some interesting story from the UConn, Connecticut I'd like to share with you. Actually, congratulations to UConn, Connecticut in beating Yale 21-15 in that matchup. But I do have a piece of history I would like to share with you here. Or is it a different kind of history? I believe it's a different kind of history. unless I did come across it earlier today. But again, UConn, I think this is their. Let me see if I can bring them up. Let me see here. This is, I believe, yeah. So UConn, ladies and gentlemen, defeating Yale, they earned their first victory in 721 days. That is an awesome performance by that school program from the college football team, Connecticut. Beating Yale again, 21 to 15 in that incredible matchup to record their 721 days victorious. Their first victorious in 721 days and beating Yale again 21 to 15. So awesome stuff by UConn. And they beat them in great fashion too. I mean, it was a close game nonetheless, but 21 to 15 was that final score there. Duke at Virginia. Well, Virginia really beat them without Duke even having an answer for Virginia team. Virginia beat them 48-0 in that game. Ball State beat Eastern Michigan 38-31. Akron lost to Miami, Ohio 34-21. Troy, they beat Texas State 31-28. Colorado beat Arizona. Arizona, nothing to show for it. I mean, through those fourth quarters, they had no answer for Colorado. 34-0 was your final score in that matchup. Central Michigan beat Toledo 26-23 in overtime. Yeah, that was an overtime game this afternoon. Bowling Green, they lost to Northern Illinois 34-26. Kent State at Western Michigan. Kent State lost to Western Michigan 64-31. And then Fresno beat Wyoming 17-0. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is upcoming. I mean, was a breaking news update that just came to me a couple minutes ago. BYU lost in a upset alert here to Baylor 38-24 in that matchup. And then Pittsburgh beat Virginia Tech 28-7. 28-7 was your final score there. More to go over here. Miami at North Carolina. North Carolina beat Miami. I believe the Miami Hurricanes. They beat them 48 to North Carolina beat Miami Hurricanes 45-42. And then another upset, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. In great fashion, nonetheless. What a game that was, by the way, between Purdue and Iowa. Iowa is ranked number 2, ladies and gentlemen, who beat not to mention they beat Penn State last week 23-20 on October 9th, 2021. And Iowa just suffered their first loss of the season, ladies and gentlemen. So they fall to 6-1. So Iowa Hawkeyes, ladies and gentlemen, who are ranked number 2 in the nation of their college football program, lost to Purdue, who is unranked, 24-7. And then Kentucky here, they lost to Georgia, ranked number 1. Hats off to Georgia, who are making a statement in the college football rankings 2 weeks in a row, most likely it will be now. After Alabama lost, after the Alabama Christmas Tide lost, and they fell in the rankings, who are now ranked I believe they're ranked number 5 again in the nation, Alabama. So Alabama is ranked number 5 in the nation. They fell, and Georgia is making a statement now. So congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, who are again undefeated. Yeah, in their school program. Hats off to them. Amazing stuff. So they beat Kentucky, who are ranked number 11, 30-13. And then Western Kentucky at Old Dominion or Old Domain. So Western Kentucky beat them 43-20. And then UAB, I believe UAB is, the UAB Blazers. They beat Southern Miss 34-0. The Golden Eagles, by the way, folks, if anybody are not familiar with the Southern Miss, they are the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, and they lost 34-0 against UAB Blazers. Vanderbilt at South Carolina. South Carolina prevailed by 1 point in that matchup. 21-20 was your final score. Texas Tech at Kansas. Texas Tech beat Kansas 41-14 in your ball game there. So great stuff nonetheless in your college football games. But ladies and gentlemen, throughout the night tonight, we'll continue to give you college football game updates here. Your podcast, your news. We're here for you guys to deliver all those sports that are happening across the nation here in your industry at your fingertips. So great stuff from college football games, though. A lot of upset games nonetheless. I mean, Iowa Hawkeyes losing to Purdue was an upset today, folks. Purdue, especially, not to mention they're unranked, folks, and they went up against a ranked number 2 team in school program, franchise, and they beat them 24-7, and the Hawkeyes had no answer, none whatsoever, to a great Purdue football team. Not to mention, I think Purdue. Let's see. Purdue, I believe their record is 4-2. They improved 4-2 on the season. So hats off to Purdue nonetheless. I mean, great stuff by this Purdue football team and what they're doing. So great stuff nonetheless. So Purdue just came clicking this afternoon on Saturday against the Iowa Hawkeyes. And Iowa Hawkeyes had no answer after beating Penn State last week, again 23-20, and giving them their first loss of the season. And again, not to mention, I think Iowa Hawkeyes were really so much focused on implying that Penn State was faking injuries just to get by that game. And they totally forgot that they were going up against a Purdue team that was really determined and well prepared to be playing this ranked 2 team, Iowa Hawkeyes. And they did beat them in great fashion this afternoon, 24-7. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please join me at 610-776 770-3698. Yeah, please call me, guys. Please call me at again. Let's get everybody on the air this evening so we could talk. Football Saturday with you folks on this beautiful evening. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please call me at 610-330-7698. That is 610-330-7698. Let's get you guys on the air. Let's talk some sports that is happening around the world of sports this evening. Again, Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news for the latest updates. All right. So let's talk NBA news before we get into NBA scores preseason recap. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the official regular season of the NBA starts on Tuesday, October 19th. And we got a couple games on October 19th. We'll get to them in a couple minutes here, but they're going to be very interesting. I know the defending NBA champions will be debuting on Tuesday, October 19th. So something to look forward to nonetheless this upcoming Tuesday as the NBA season gets rolling this upcoming week. All right, so let's talk NBA. That we definitely need to talk NBA. So let's talk NBA. All right. Let's talk NBA, folks. So the latest So we're going to talk about Ben Simmons. We're going to get the hot topic of Ben Simmons returning to the Philadelphia 76ers. And we're going to talk about Kyrie Irving and his latest on what his approach on the vaccine mandate. So the latest, so I'm trying to say this the best possible way I can. All right. I've been going through the latest reports throughout the week, analyzing, doing some research, coming into determination, and trying to figure out the facts, all right, of exactly what I want to throw out there on tonight's podcast. And again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me this evening. And a lot of people, folks, are against Kyrie Irving on the latest approach of his vaccine mandate. And there's a lot of people that are with him on his approach with the vaccine mandate. Now, the reason why I say a lot of people are against him is because he's letting the team down. All right, you know, you're close to the regular season, and there is a lot of high hopes and expectations for the Nets organization to have a strong run this upcoming season. And a lot was being talked about during the offseason that the Brooklyn Nets are going to be starting the season hot, and they're going to come out strong. They're going to be starting strong, where they're going to be possibly going on a 9-0 or maybe 11-0 run to begin the season campaign. But when we heard a lot of reports coming in about the vaccine being mandated, and it's being forced on so many people, and a lot of people are losing their jobs because they don't want to be forced to take the vaccine. So my topic on this is, people, when it comes to the COVID vaccine, it's a choice. You should not be forced to take something that you don't know what's in it. All right. The vaccine should not be forced by anybody, by all means, no matter what the circumstances or the situation might be. So what I'm trying to get at, folks, is people have rights. All right. People do have rights. And people, again, should not be forced to take the vaccine if they don't want to. It should be totally optional choice. All right. When it comes to the vaccine, I know it's all about protecting anybody that you're surrounded with. I understand all that. You know, when you're surrounded by people, especially by your loved ones, your kids, your family members, your cousins, your friends, and again, your team players, your teammates, nonetheless, you know, you want to get that vaccine so that way you're not affecting other people. But folks, you know, again, you got to think about it. It's your choice. It's your decision. And, you know, if you don't want to take it, you don't have to force that player to take it. I mean, they have other options. They have other choices, but don't be putting too much pressure on these professional athletes, nonetheless, that are putting their bodies on the line each and every day to performing in and out. I mean, on the court, you know, for you. And, you know, I watched Kyrie Irving's video on Instagram. It was live on Instagram, folks. He did issue a personal message on his Instagram IG account. And he stated to all his NBA fans and the Brooklyn Nets organization that, folks, you should not be forced to take something that you don't know what's in it. And not to mention, folks, it's not all about the money. It is all about your health. It's all about your choice and what you do to your body, what you do to it. That's your choice. That's your approach, and nobody could force you to do what you know that you don't need to take. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of friends of mine out there. There's a lot of cousins of mine out there. Again, friends, cousins, you know, sisters, brothers, whatever it may be. There's some people out there that have not taken the vaccine. All right. And they don't choose to take it, and they don't want to take it. So, and and to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, that's their choice. Again, you cannot force anybody to take something that you don't know what's exactly in it. Okay, folks, you cannot. So again, there's a lot of going around that people are against Kyrie with his latest approach, and there's a lot of people that are with Kyrie, and they're totally they're okay with this approach on what he's doing. And not to mention, ladies and gentlemen, the latest reports, and according to sources are coming in, that Kevin Durant and James Harden are definitely okay with how Kyrie Irving is handling all this. And that's all up to Kyrie Irving, folks. He'll figure something out, and he'll take the latest approach, and he'll make his voice heard to take a stand. That's what it's all about, folks. And this is where I'm going to get at here right now. Going into this offseason with Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons, okay? Now, I was a little bit of an enemy here on Ben Simmons' approach, but these past couple weeks, I've started figuring out Ben Simmons and where his head at is really where it's at. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Simmons, folks, I was going to attack Ben Simmons. I was definitely going to attack him on my podcast. But I said, you know what? Let's wait and see what the latest approach will be on Ben Simmons. What's going to happen with Ben Simmons? Will he come around? And folks, look at, as the weeks started progressing, he definitely came around, and he started waking up, and he wants to rejoin the Philadelphia Sixers because he finally realized that it's all about improving his jump shot. And he knows that that's the only improvement that he needs. And he knows that his valuable asset is going to go down if he decides not to rejoin the Philadelphia Sixers and, of course, let his team down, of course. Of course, that's where I'm trying to get at here and make a valuable point that he wants to definitely. I mean, he didn't want to let his team down, and I don't think that was Ben Simmons' intentions, folks, by letting his team down. I don't think that was in his correct mindset. I don't think that was in his correct approach that he wanted to let his team down. I don't think that was his. I don't think that was his approach. That was not his game plan. I don't think that was his thoughts. That was not something that he really was looking forward to doing. And he just wanted to take a couple weeks off and gather all of his mind together, get his basketball mentality back, and truly figuring out by sitting down, focusing on exactly who truly Ben Simmons is. And I think he definitely started realizing that. He definitely did. And I think that's what I actually like about Ben Simmons. And he did sit down with the staff, with the team. He told the team, you know what, give me a second chance to come back, and with good intentions, of course, to come back with this team and show to the whole world what truly Ben Simmons is all about. And I think that's what Ben Simmons really wanted to do, because that Ben Simmons knows it's his characteristics, his ability, and what truly of a basketball player that he is, his personality nonetheless, is what he's all about as a true basketball player. And ladies and gentlemen, folks, it was only one small task that he needed to definitely improve during the offseason. And it was all about improving his jump shot. It's all about improving his free throws. And ladies and gentlemen, Ben Simmons knows, and this is not his intentions. He knows that if I decide to go as a free agent in the offseason, or I decide to jump ship to a different team, I know a different team is not going to pick me up. I know a team is not going to pick me up. You know why no team out there is going to pick me up? Because my asset has dropped. His asset has dropped. Ben Simmons knows it. He will not be that Ben Simmons that we all know anymore, folks. He will not be that Ben Simmons that we all know, because his asset has definitely dropped. And as a true professional basketball player that he is, his valuable asset has definitely tremendously dropped, because he decides that, oh, now I don't want to be a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. You know, which other team are you going to go to? Because you not only did you let your team down, and you're showing unsportsmanship to your locker team, to your whole team in the Philadelphia 76ers organization, which the Philadelphia 76ers organization cannot ladies and gentlemen, they cannot afford right now. They cannot afford. I mean, that team, that organization is trying to come together nonetheless. They're trying to get they're trying to get their chemistry to where it needs to be. They're trying to get their reputation as a true, legitimate 76ers basketball true contenders that they are. That's where the Philadelphia 76ers want to be. They don't want to go back and fall under the barrel again, ladies and gentlemen, fall down, in the standings in the Atlantic Division and not be truly championship contenders. I mean, these last, ladies and gentlemen, not to mention the last 2 seasons from the Philadelphia 76ers basketball have been very impressive, folks. They definitely have been very impressive by the Philadelphia 76ers organization. And they're definitely getting to where they need to be as a basketball franchise. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, Joel Embiid, Seth Curry, ladies and gentlemen, all those basketball players you mentioned, they can't afford right now. Not to mention Andre Drummond, ladies and gentlemen, the new player for the Philadelphia 76ers, and not to mention Danny Green, ladies and gentlemen, who is still a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. Ladies and gentlemen, all those players that I mentioned right now can't afford the Philadelphia Sixers going under the barrel and falling apart in their season with all this controversy happening right now in their organization, in their franchise right now, folks. That's something the basketball team cannot afford right now, having this controversy going around and really playing a major factor. So a lot of teams right now, I mean, excuse me, not a lot of teams, a lot of team, I mean, that's Philadelphia 76ers team should be really thankful and fortunate that Ben Simmons has finally come into realizing that I cannot let this team down. I have to start waking up and smelling the coffee here and showing everybody, to the whole world, that what truly Ben Simmons is all about, to improving and being the better Ben Simmons that I know, to carrying this Philadelphia 76ers team to becoming title contenders, to becoming championship contenders, and to taking this Atlantic Division by storm, folks. And that's what Ben Simmons, his intentions are. That is what Ben Simmons' true focus mentality as a basketball professional athlete player that he is, that he truly wants to focus going into this upcoming season. And that's what he definitely wants to do. So, I mean, now a lot of reports are coming in that he still doesn't want to continue to play, but he is accordingly on the official roster of the Philadelphia 76ers. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I know Ben Simmons will wake up. All right, folks, he will definitely wake up and he will come to terms and he will come into his senses that I know who I am. I truly know what kind of Ben Simmons character and personality that I bring to the table and who I show, because I am a true leader to that locker room. I am a true inspiration and aspect to that team. And I am the focal point and I am the missing piece and the missing puzzle to this Philadelphia 76ers team, to bringing a championship to the Philadelphia franchise. And that's what the Philadelphia 76ers, that's what they really want to do by keeping Ben Simmons for the foreseeable future for years to come. And that's what Philadelphia 76ers definitely want to do, folks. And that's all it's all about. The mentality of Ben Simmons coming around. And it will definitely truly happen for the Philadelphia 76ers and bringing that Atlantic Division back to where it needs to be for the Philadelphia Sixers to potentially, maybe not this year, but I mean, hopefully this year, but if not this year, maybe next year, to becoming championship title contenders. But again, ladies and gentlemen, that's all a wait and see, to see where the Philadelphia Sixers definitely stand. But again, it's definitely great news to hear that Ben Simmons is returning to Philadelphia. But then again, regarding the Kyrie Irving situation, folks, again, a lot of things with Kyrie Irving, folks, that people are with him or people are against Kyrie Irving, all right, regarding his approach. And folks, it kind of makes me think here with the comparison between Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving, what they did during the offseason and what their approach is going to be possibly for the upcoming weeks, maybe upcoming months, so to speak. If Ben Simmons, ladies and gentlemen, is now officially on the Philadelphia 76ers roster, but he might not play yet. Okay, he might not play yet. And the reason I'm going to get to that, I'm going to get my point of view across here, along with Kyrie Irving, folks, in that Nets organization. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, with the approach that Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons did throughout the offseason and maybe going to these next upcoming months, not to mention maybe upcoming weeks, there is some speculations going around, ladies and gentlemen, that the NBA, well, not the NBA, actually Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons, ladies and gentlemen, are trying to get their voices heard in changing the NBA's collective bargaining agreement, folks. That is what I am trying to get my point across. That is the major point of view that I'm trying to get at with this podcast tonight, and everybody joining me on Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news. And this is what I'm definitely, all along I was trying to get at here with this point of view, but I had to give out a true story to why this is coming all about, folks. And it's definitely all about Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons getting their voices out there and coming up with a different approach that this COVID thing is it's only scaring people, folks. And it's not a true thing that people should buckle down and take serious. But I think they're thinking about coming up with a different approach for the NBA to change their collective bargaining agreement after the pandemic. And I think that's what's going on here. That is definitely what is going on here between Kyrie Irving and the Ben Simmons situation. Yes. And this is my point of view to everybody that is a Brooklyn Nets fan, that's a Philadelphia 76ers fan, not to mention that's a NBA basketball fan nonetheless, that Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving are definitely trying to come up with a different approach across the NBA. And a lot of people have been talking to me about it. And a lot of people have have come across to that hot topic, to my approach, to my knowledge, telling me, you know what, Joseph, you need to talk about that in your podcast. You need to bring that up. Even though, I mean, Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving are not bringing it up. I mean, and the NBA did bring it up, though. They definitely did. And I think the NBA is waking up regarding that hot topic, that the collective bargaining agreement in the NBA definitely needs to change. And it's probably after the pandemic situation, too. So the NBA is maybe going to come up with something regarding that. But Kyrie is definitely taking a stand, ladies and gentlemen. And he's definitely taking an approach, and he's definitely making his voice heard. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, he's definitely going to get his voice heard these next couple of weeks, maybe going these next upcoming months. Before you know it, ladies and gentlemen, before whoever is a Brooklyn Nets fan out there, before you know it, Kyrie Irving will be rejoining the Brooklyn Nets. It's a matter of time, folks. It's a matter of time. But I think he's definitely getting his voice heard. He's making a stand for exactly, because, ladies and gentlemen, these professional athletes they're regular human beings just like us, folks. They definitely are. All right. I cannot stress that enough. I really can't. They are at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, when they're performing for you on the court each and every given day of that game day, whether it may be when it comes to football, basketball, or baseball, or hockey, or international soccer, or rugby, or whichever it may be, folks. They each and every day they put their bodies on the line for you guys. And again, it's not always about how much you make or how much money you bring to the table. These professional athletes are given their each and every day to giving it all it takes to to make this sports to make the sports an entertainment an entertainment environment, so to speak, when everybody is interacting with sports and watching it nonetheless. So I think this is what Kyrie Irving, ladies and gentlemen, and Ben Simmons are trying to get at here. I think this is the message that they are sending across to the NBA and to their organizations, nonetheless, to their respective organizations. And I think the NBA is waking up and realizing it. Yeah. So there could be a new collective bargaining agreement approach here. Maybe who knows? It could be in the next upcoming weeks. It could be in the next upcoming months. But just keep an eye on, tune in for that, folks. That it could happen. It could happen. Again, we don't know the latest update on when Kyrie Irving is going to return. We definitely don't know. But we'll keep you up to date when we hear something. When truly Kyrie Irving comes back. And also, ladies and gentlemen, when Ben Simmons will make his triumphant return, when he will make his debut, who knows? But he is definitely back on the official roster of the Philadelphia 76ers. And, these next couple of weeks, maybe these upcoming months, we'll probably truly get a defining answer to exactly where these professional basketball athletes, where they truly stand, where they truly stand going into these, again, like I mentioned, next upcoming months and next upcoming weeks. Again, my point of view, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully I made it perfectly clear. And I gave a valuable information and true statement on the Kyrie Irving and the Ben Simmons situation. That, ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely a new collective bargaining agreement approach, and I believe they're getting their voices heard. They're getting their voices out there. Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving on their latest approach on exactly what's going on, and how the NBA definitely needs to start taking things to a different approach or different level. After this pandemic crisis that they dealt with in the year 2020. So something to look forward to, nonetheless, something to look forward to. But yeah, that's the hot topic, ladies and gentlemen, from the Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons situation. And again, I tried my best, folks, not to give this a negative approach, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about gathering your facts, and it's all about gathering your research. And this is what Worldwide Sport Updates is truly all about, is gathering updates, gathering information, gathering your facts, and putting it to the table right in front of me here to bring you the latest. Hopefully we did that on our end, on our part, nonetheless. And hopefully a lot of people got some valuable information out of it, to all the people that are tuning in and listening in. Live here, tuning in to Worldwide Sport Updates on your Saturday night evening show. So we did the best we can to deliver that to you. And again, folks, we don't try to bring any negative energy to our podcast. We tried not to do that. We try to bring, we try to gather our information. We try to gather our thoughts. We try to gather the latest up-to-date information possibly we can, to delivering it to you on our podcast news. And we waited a couple of weeks before we even got to the Ben Simmons controversy, to the Ben Simmons situation, to the Ben Simmons conflict. We waited. It was a kind of a wait and see approach on exactly what Ben Simmons was really going to do. Was he really going to take that approach of going to the off season, or was he really going to come back into terms, getting back, getting his stage and his mind right, which he really did. He had to sit down and relax and relax and come together, come into figuring out who truly Ben Simmons is, what he truly is all about as a professional basketball athlete. And he's definitely doing that at the greatest, before the NBA regular season even kicks off. So awesome stuff, actually, nonetheless, by Ben Simmons' approach. So great stuff. All right. Let's go through NBA preseason games with you folks. Again, I think the NBA season just wrapped up their preseason. So again, the latest here is that the NBA regular season will make its debut on Tuesday, October 19th. And we have 2 games on October 19th. So officially, the NBA regular season kicks off on October 19th. That's a Tuesday, folks. And we're definitely looking forward to it. A lot of people are definitely juiced up and hyped up for the NBA regular season nonetheless. Not to mention, the Los Angeles Lakers, who did not win an NBA preseason game. And we did see a little bit of action from Russell Westbrook. We did see a little bit of action from LeBron James. And we did see some action from Anthony Davis. And ladies and gentlemen, they still couldn't win a basketball game. So it kind of brings a little bit of a question mark how this season is going to turn out and unfold truly for the Los Angeles Lakers going, as the season gets underway on Tuesday. And we'll get to all the latest updates on exactly who's going to play on October 19th. As we recap yesterday preseason matchups from the NBA. So yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Hero had a fantastic game ups to the Miami Heat. They beat the Boston Celtics 121-100. That was your final preseason matchup there. Also, again, I think Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler had great performances, ladies and gentlemen, last night for the Miami Heat against the Boston Celtics. So I think they combined, both of them put 20. So combine both those guys together, they put some 40 plus points up. Combined Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. So awesome performance by Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero, folks. Great stuff nonetheless. So final score there, 121-100 by the Miami Heat. Philadelphia 76ers, they wrapped up their NBA preseason. They fall 2-2. They lost to the Detroit Pistons 112-108. Jeremiah Grant, who played 35 minutes, had 8 rebounds, 24 points. Awesome performance by Jeremiah Grant. Josh Jackson played 34 minutes, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 14 points. Isaiah Stewart, 29 minutes played in that game, 12 rebounds, 17 points. Frank Jackson had 13 points, played 27 minutes, 2 rebounds. Sabian Lee played 31 minutes, had 5 rebounds and 11 points. So Detroit Pistons definitely heck of a performance by that club. They improved to 2-2. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers 112-108 in their final preseason matchup. Cleveland Cavaliers, they won their game. They go to 2-3 in their preseason game by beating the Indiana Pacers 110-94 in that game. Final preseason game between the Washington Wizards and the New York Knicks. New York Knicks 115, Washington Wizards 113. The Knicks, Julius Randle, 35 minutes played, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 21 points. RJ Barrett, 34 minutes played, 6 rebounds, 18 points. Taj Gibson had 15 minutes played into the game, 2 points only. That's it. Derrick Rose, highest scoring point of the night. He played 29 minutes, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 28 points, put the highest by the New York Knicks player. Again, they beat Washington Wizards 115-113. They improved actually in their preseason 4-0. That's their record, 4-0, their record. And the Washington Wizards, they fall to 0-4. All right. More NBA preseason matchups. The Dallas Mavericks, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks, they are 1-4 in their NBA preseason, as the Dallas Mavericks finished undefeated, 4-0. They beat, again, the Milwaukee Bucks 114-103. And I believe from the Mavericks side, Luka Doncic did not play at all. So he was out for the night. But Dwight Powell, he had 12 points, played for 11 minutes, and 2 assists. The highest point of the night from the Mavericks came by Jalen Brunson. 24 minutes played, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a total of 17 points by the Dallas Mavericks. So again, what a good way to finish undefeated, and Luka Doncic was not even effective at all in that ball game. More NBA preseason matchups here. The Chicago Bulls, again, they improved to 4-0 in their preseason game. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies 118-105. Again, the Grizzlies, they finished 3-3. The Rockets, they lost to San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio finished the NBA preseason 3-2 as the Houston Rockets fall to 1-3. San Antonio beat them 126-98. And finally, the last NBA preseason matchup of the night, I think yesterday. So the final preseason of the NBA, it was wrapped up by the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry had a good night last night against the Portland Trailblazers. Golden State, they improved their preseason game 5-0, undefeated. What a good hot start by the Golden State Warriors. Portland Trailblazers, they fall to 0-4. Golden State beat them 119-97. As for the Warriors, again, folks, Draymond Green, who played 24 minutes, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, had a total of 10 points. The highest, again, congratulations to Stephen Curry, who had an outstanding preseason performance, who played 30 minutes into the basketball game, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 41 points. And then Jordan Poole, ladies and gentlemen, had 24 points game, played 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 16 points. And Bajalaka, ladies and gentlemen, Bajalaka had played 21 minutes, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 12 points. So again, Stephen Curry was the hottest topic of the night in the NBA preseason, improved the Golden State preseason record to 5-0, and made the Portland Trailblazers fall to 0-4, beating them 119-97. So, ladies and gentlemen, outstanding performance by Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors as they had a heck of a performance. I don't know what triggered Stephen Curry, ladies and gentlemen. It was only a preseason matchup. For Stephen Curry to put 41 points in a preseason game is just an incredible performance by Stephen Curry. The guy is a freaking machine, for Pete's sakes. And he just continued his dominant performance. Nonetheless, 41 points is nothing to stay quiet about for Stephen Curry, folks. And he definitely put on his best performance of the night. So what a good way to show to really go off, folks. Putting again 41 points. Yeah, putting 41 points in a preseason matchup. It's just a really, really incredible nonetheless. So again, they improved to 5-0, and that's your NBA preseason game. The finale of the preseason game, not to mention, folks. So moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, here are your preseason games to look forward to this upcoming week. So, ladies and gentlemen, the NBA regular season officially kicks off on Tuesday, October 19th, with the Brooklyn Nets making their season debut on the road against the defending champions and Giannis Antetokounmpo against the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So it'll be the Brooklyn Nets on the road Tuesday, October 19th. It will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks, Tuesday, October 19th. Also, ladies and gentlemen, another game that will make their NBA regular season debut, the Los Angeles Lakers, who finished their regular season 0-6, will be making their NBA regular season debut against the Golden State Warriors, who the Golden State Warriors, they lost to the Lakers last year as they were fighting for a playoff position. Yeah, they lost to the Lakers as the Lakers, they won that playoff position spot as the number 7 seed to play against the Phoenix Suns. So that's your rematch right there in the wild card round, supposedly the NBA wild card. As they now have a different approach in the NBA where I think it's the lowest seed versus the highest seed. So it's almost like an NBA wild card matchup. Let's put it that way. So that's a rematch that you will be seeing on Tuesday, October 19th between the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. That will be at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, October 19th, as the NBA regular season officially kicks off with the Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Lakers. So 2 NBA regular season matchups to look forward to starting on October 19th, 2021. So something to look forward to. Definitely something to look forward to. And hopefully you guys something to look forward to, guys, and hopefully you enjoy this upcoming Tuesday. All right. So officially the NBA regular season kicks off on Tuesday, October 19th. All right. Okay. So we're gonna get some people in here. Hopefully, guys, if you love to be on the air, please call me at 610-770-3698. Again, that's 610-770-3698. Let's get you guys on the air. Let's talk some sports. Tonight is your night. It's Saturday night. We are fully committed and here for you guys. Worldwide Sport Updates Podcast, your news, to delivering sports across the world and our nation industry, nonetheless. Danny, welcome to the show, buddy. Hopefully we can get you on here, buddy, and talk some sports. Hopefully you're having a great Saturday night, nonetheless. We did cover, again, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers throughout this show segment. Again, we did recap what transpired, what went right for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what went wrong for the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, I mean, you can agree, you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, the taunting penalties and some missed opportunities, nonetheless, it did not favor the Philadelphia Eagles, none whatsoever. So please call me or please jot down your comments. Exactly what did you feel about that game? It was not a great showing by the Philadelphia Eagles, nonetheless. Yeah, we can all put that in perspective. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they prevailed. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't really want to talk about the Eagles. I know. I mean, there's really not much we could talk about the Eagles. Again, they're not using that running game effectively. And it really irks and it bothers a lot of Eagle nations out there. Not to mention the Philadelphia Eagles organization in itself. And we just don't know what Howie Long is doing, folks, to that organization. I just feel like I think Howie just lost that team in general. He definitely lost. He lost that team in its entirety. I mean, if you guys recall, I mean, in Howie Long's quotes, if you guys recall, well, actually, it was Doug Peterson who said this. Also, this was going to be the new generation, the new era of the Philadelphia Eagles. And lately, ladies and gentlemen, we have not seen the new era of the Philadelphia Eagles, none whatsoever. This is the new we're going to see a new, whole different Philadelphia Eagles team. And ladies and gentlemen, all we've been seeing from this Philadelphia Eagles organization, from this franchise, is pretty much go downhill. these last couple weeks. And again, I agree with a lot of Eagles fans nation. They definitely don't want to talk about the Eagles, and they want to avoid that subject on all aspects of that topic right now. And again, it bothers a lot of people. It really does. But that's the nature of sports. That's the game of sports. We really can't go into more details. And it's sad too. I want to bring this to people's attention. A lot of people said a high school football team could beat the Philadelphia Eagles. The way they saw their performance on Thursday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just because the Philadelphia Eagles had no answer for them. Pretty much the second and third quarter of the game, until they actually started making some noise and making a run. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to bring for a professional football team to say that a high school football team could beat the Philadelphia Eagles, for crying out loud. And to be honest with you, I think a high school football team, I don't want to name football high school teams out there, but they could definitely use their running game more effectively than the Philadelphia Eagles can. And it's it's truly sad. It really is. But yeah, so that's the truly the focal and the point of view that we're definitely trying to get our everybody's attention across to the sports that's happening. As far as Penn State, ladies and gentlemen, the reports are coming in. They're on the bye week this week. Again, they are 5-1 currently, and they're great in their conference standings. Excuse me. Right now they're 5-1. So again, they're on the bye week. They play Illinois next Saturday, and it will be a 12 p.m. Eastern time game going into next Saturday. So something to look forward to next Saturday between Penn State and Illinois. So yeah. All right. So we did go over NBA. Let's go. So we did go over NBA preseason games. We gave you the final scores. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the NBA regular season kicks off on Tuesday, October 19th, between the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. That will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. That will be the first game of the regular season. And then at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on October 19th, it will be the Los Angeles Lakers season debut at Staples Center versus the Golden State Warriors. That will be a rematch of the NBA wildcard game from last year, where both teams were fighting for a position to play against the number 2 ranked team, the Phoenix Suns, in the playoffs. And unfortunately, we know the result of that game. The Lakers prevailed. They were the number 7 seed, and they played the Phoenix Suns, and they lost in that game. I think it's 6 games against the Phoenix Suns, and the Phoenix Suns prevailed to move on and to play the Utah Jazz, I believe. So yeah, that's your pretty much NBA regular season games that we will be definitely looking forward to this upcoming Tuesday as the NBA regular season starts kicking off between, again, the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Brooklyn Nets. That's going to be a great game nonetheless. Again, they're going to be without Kyrie Irving. It's a big blow to that Brooklyn Nets organization. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say this. For the Brooklyn Nets, I don't think they have nothing to worry about. Danny, I appreciate you, bro. Yes, please share it out. Yeah, subscribe to Worldwide Sport Updates. It's all in one word. We have our YouTube channel. It's live and it's kicking well. We need a lot of subscribers, a lot of viewers. Yeah, share it out. Shout out to Worldwide Sport Updates, ladies and gentlemen. Your podcast, your news, to yours truly, your host, to deliver sports news each and every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So again, ladies, Danny, if you could jump on tomorrow morning. We have a Sunday podcast from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We are definitely looking forward to you guys jumping ship and getting on here to talk NFL sports. And we are definitely committed and dedicated to bringing that to you guys and to your attention nonetheless. And I think I did pretty good last week as far as NFL predictions are concerned. I think I gave out a lot of great NFL predictions last week. as far as who's going to win their football games and who's going to lose their football games. I know I was a little bit off between the Jets and the Atlanta Falcons. I picked the Falcons. I picked the Jets to win that game, and the Falcons prevailed. Awesome. Appreciate you, Denny. Appreciate you nonetheless. So again, folks, yes. So not to mention what I was talking about. Yeah, I gave out some great NFL predictions last week. So hopefully we continue the trend going into this week, and we give out some great games as we give you the NFL podcast going into tomorrow morning. And hopefully I don't miss my alarm clock. Hopefully it wakes me up on time and I can have some coffee in the morning before I jump on ship here and talk worldwide sports updates with all of you, my famous sports fans around the nation of our world. But again, ladies and gentlemen, let me go back and talk again. We were just talking about the NBA. Again, two great NBA games to look forward to. Tuesday, October 19th, as the NBA regular season kicks off on October 19th between the Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. That will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Tuesday, October 19th, again at 10 o'clock p.m., it will be the Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Lakers, a rematch from last year, NBA's wildcard game. Let's call it the NBA wildcard. Yeah, so let's call it that. All right, so we did go over NBA preseason games. We recapped that for you guys. We're going to talk NHL hockey games as the NHL hockey regular season just kicked off, and it's alive, kicking and well. And we're going to go also over college football games. This is a college football Saturday segment here, so we are definitely committed and dedicated to you on this college football Saturday. Again, we'll talk college football recap of what transpired, those earlier games that happened earlier today on your college football Saturday. And we'll also go over the games that are happening right now, currently at your fingertips. The latest update for anybody that cannot tune in and watch the current football games, college football games that are happening right now, currently at your doorstep. As far as Major League Baseball playoff coverage here, congratulations again to the Boston Red Sox, who again they made they made Major League Baseball history, folks, right in front of our eyes today. Again, they're the first Major League Baseball in history to hit 2 grand slams, ladies and gentlemen. I think in the beginning of the game, awesome history by the Boston Red Sox. They prevailed against the Houston Astros. They beat them 9-5 to tie up the series 1 game apiece. So congratulations. They did that in Minute Maid Park today against the Houston Astros, and they tie up the series 1-1. So they beat them again 9-5 in Game 2 after falling to the Houston Astros in Minute Maid Park in Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. They lost to them 5-4 in that one, and the Houston Astros took a 1-series lead in that matchup. But then Boston came back, started off really fast too, in 9 straight innings nonetheless. And it's all about starting fast, ladies and gentlemen, in the game of sports. No matter if it's the NFL, no matter if it's the NBA, no matter if it's international soccer, for crying out loud, no matter whatever name of sports that you mentioned that's coming out of your mouth, folks, it is all about starting strong, and that's what it's all about. You have to start strong, and definitely the Boston Red Sox had an answer for the Houston Astros, and they really, I mean, the pitching from the Houston Astros had no answer, but they did put 5 points up again, thanks to their batting, possibly. I didn't get the chance to see that game, but I will check out the highlights, of course, between the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros. But again, congratulations nonetheless by Boston. They made history. They beat the Houston Astros 9-5, and they tied the game 1 apiece. Go right now, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 of your National League Championship Series coverage is now fully getting underway. Right now, that game is tied between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. Right now, that game is 1-1. Mid through the second inning right now. So right now that game is tied 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. They're about to go to the bottom of the second. And that's game 1 of the National League Championship Series. We have only 4 teams. Four teams in their championship perspective. That are representing in their championship rounds right now. And who do you like going into the World Series? Do you like the Astros versus the Dodgers? Do you like the Astros versus the Red Sox? Do you like the Dodgers versus the Red Sox? Do you like the Dodgers versus the Red Sox versus the Dodgers? Not to mention what's his name? If it does come down to Dodgers versus Boston Red Sox, you're talking. Okay, Eric, go ahead, talk to me, buddy. I'm here for you. What's going on? He said I got to talk to you about the 2 extra season games in the NFL. Well, Eric, what's going on, buddy? I'm all ears for you. What's going on? Talk to me. I'm here for you. What's the latest? Even though the NFL is tomorrow morning, but if you have something for me, buddy, let me know. I'm here for you. I'm all ears. What's going on? Give me the latest. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk before Eric puts his talk segment about the 2 extra season games in the NFL. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if it does come down to the Dodgers. Okay, here we go. Let's hear it, Eric. What's going on, buddy? Again, ladies and gentlemen, to go back to the Dodgers again versus the Red Sox. If it does come down to those 2 franchise organizations that will be representing in the World Series, you're talking Mookie Betts going up against his former team, the Boston Red Sox. What an interesting World Series would that be, folks? All right, what you think? Okay, what you think is interesting? What you think is okay? What you think is interesting? All right, Eric, what's going on? I'm here for you. What's interesting? Give me the latest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Eric is about to tell me what he thinks is interesting. All right, so we're all ears on Eric about the NFL. What's going on, buddy? Give us the latest updates here. A team, okay. A team could, okay. So Eric, what you're trying to get at here, my friend, is you supposedly think that there's a possibly good chance because now it's an 18-week regular season NFL, correct? It's an 18-week game. What's going on, Ronnie? How you doing, buddy? Hopefully everything is going well for you in Syria. So Eric, okay, hold on. Am I wrong? Even if the Giants are a possibility. Okay, so all right, so yeah, let me see what I'm trying to what Eric is trying to get at here, folks. Eric is trying to get at here. Yeah, okay. So Eric, ladies and gentlemen, is trying to get at that there's a possibility that a team who cannot have a perfect record possibly make the playoffs, and it's been given every year that we've been seeing it. So basically, Eric, what he's trying to get at here, folks, is that there could be a losing team that could make the playoffs. So we've been seeing it as of late. Before we've been seeing this 18-week schedule in the NFL come to an official debut, and it's been making its official debut this year. We've been seeing a lot of teams that have been having losing records make the playoffs, and we've seen it where the previous years, when it was only a 17 game, where the Giants were 7-9. They were 7-9, folks, and they made the playoffs, and not to mention they made it to the Super Bowl. And they also had a record of a 9-7 They had a 9-7 record, and not to mention the Giants. Yeah, they had a 9-7 record, and they made it as the number six seed to the Super Bowl, and they knocked off the New England Patriots. Well, yeah. I mean, for instance, if the Cowboys, if they have a losing record, they could possibly go to the Eagles or the Giants. Yeah. I mean, it's possibly. Yeah, I mean, look at the NFC East. Of course, it's possible that if those two teams have losing records, they definitely might be representing. Let's say, for instance, the Cowboys do end up having a losing record. They possibly could go to either the Giants. I mean, the Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys or the Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys and a losing record. And it could happen. It could very well happen. Yeah. Ronnie, the Eagles are not doing so well, my friend. Right now, the Eagles are pretty much they're trying to figure out their rhythm. The Eagles are right now sitting at 2-4 on the regular season. Yes, Eric, I do understand where you're getting at. It's possibly, and we've seen it before, Eric. We've seen it before that a losing team could definitely make the playoffs, and it's going to happen possibly this year. They're going to go possibly 7-9. No, actually, 7-10. They might go 7-10, and they might have a shot at a wild card position. Yeah. So it could very well happen. I could see it happening nonetheless. And it's not just coming from the NFC East. It could come from any division nonetheless, that any team is definitely wide open to represent in the wild card this year with a losing record. And it could be the Cleveland Browns, for crying out loud. It could be the Cincinnati Bengals with, Jamar Chase right now having a great performance this year. And Joe Burrow, who's coming off a leg injury from last year. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys right now are sitting at 4-1. Who knows where they'll be sitting at the end of the season? Eric, yeah, it's going to be possible, bro. It's definitely going to be possible that there is going to be a losing team out there that will be hosting a playoff game. And there's a good possibility that they could advance to the division round nonetheless. So it could possibly be, but Danny is saying that the Eagles and Giants will not get a wild card. Way too many decent teams in the NFC this year. I totally agree, Danny. It's definitely, there's a lot of great NFC teams out there, and not to mention, I think, call me delusional here, but I think the Seahawks could possibly make it even without Russell Wilson, who is on injured reserve, who might not come back until week 9. So he's out for what I think 3 more weeks. So the Seahawks are still alive and well, kicking in the NFC. Not to mention the Minnesota Vikings can make a run. Again, the Green Bay Packers can make a run. The Chicago Bears can make a run if Justin Fields figures out that organization and he gets into rhythm. So, definitely the Chicago Bears, definitely the Carolina Panthers, definitely the New Orleans Saints. They could definitely make a strong approach, and they could definitely make a run in the NFC. Not to mention Sam Darnold is having a rampage in that NFC this year. It's definitely crazy and insane to see the way Sam Darnold is performing in Carolina. So it's definitely some truly amazing stuff. And the NFC, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely wide open. And I said that during the beginning of the season, before the NFC season even got underway. Who is going to challenge the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And I don't see anybody out there challenging the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though the Dallas Cowboys currently are 4-1 right now. And then you got the Arizona Cardinals, who are the only undefeated team in the NFC at 5-0. Anything can happen. I've seen it before where there is a team out there that goes 8-0 in the regular season, folks, and they all of a sudden, after their bye week, they start to plummet. Cards win the Super Bowl. Oh yeah. And you know what, Danny, now that you mentioned it, that the Cardinals might win the Super Bowl, Ladies and gentlemen, here's some breaking news I forgot to mention coming from the NFL, and we're going to talk some NFL injuries. Also, I forgot to talk about that in here on the latest podcast. So thank you guys for bringing this up. The latest update coming from the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, after Thursday night's football matchup, is that the Cardinals now have acquired, I think, for a 5th-round pick and for a cornerback. Yeah, I don't know how Eagle fans feel about that, but ladies and gentlemen, Zach Ertz is now officially a new member of the Arizona Cardinals. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, that passing attack for the Arizona Cardinals has just got stronger and even better. So I'm gonna tell you this, folks. The Cardinals are definitely looking scary right now. They definitely are. I mean, and it was definitely all about dressing that passing attack, and not to mention, Kyle Murray, folks, is definitely playing his A game quarterback football right now. Not to mention throughout these last 5 straight weeks. And not to mention, ladies and gentlemen, they have not turned the ball at all. Let me pull up the stat real quick. I think I did some research on that regarding the points turning the ball over. I think this was brought to my attention today that actually no, there are 4 teams right now, the only defense not to allow a double-digit touchdown this season. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 4 teams, the only defense to not allow a double-digit touchdown this season. They are the Buffalo Bills. They are the Denver Broncos. Yeah, the Denver Broncos, the New Orleans Saints, and currently right now, the New England Patriots. Yeah. And Josh Allen cannot be stopped, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, currently the Buffalo Bills are 4-1 in the season right now. They're on a heck of a rampage. They've been going really strong these last couple weeks. And not to mention the Buffalo Bills have, except for that Pittsburgh Steelers game, those last 4 straight weeks, the Bills have just been putting 30-plus points on their opponents, folks. And the Bills are definitely scary in that AFC. Not to mention the Buffalo Bills beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and they beat who else did they beat? They beat the Baltimore Ravens, or did they? No, they didn't beat the Baltimore Ravens. They beat the Tennessee Titans, I believe. The Buffalo Bills, ladies and gentlemen, they're just on they're on a rampage right now. I mean, if we could, let me see something here. I want to pull up the Buffalo Bills, who they beat again. Yeah, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. No, actually they play the Titans this week. They play them. The Titans, they play the Buffalo Bills play the Tennessee Titans on Monday night. But if you go back, ladies and gentlemen, the Bills beat the Chiefs, okay, and they beat the Miami Dolphins, and they beat the Washington football team, and they beat the Houston Texans. So, yeah, the Buffalo Bills, ladies and gentlemen, they've been on a rampage as of late. They definitely have been on a rampage. Eric has pinpointed out, ladies and gentlemen, that the Eagles' next approach should be really going with Joe Flacco and benching Jalen Hurts. What do you guys think about that? What's your thoughts on that? On the latest, possibly the Eagles going with Joe Flacco and benching Jalen Hurts. That's something maybe the Eagles might have to look into. Joe Flacco, ladies and gentlemen, even though, he's getting to that level where he cannot, he's not the quarterback that we used to think of Joe Flacco. Not to mention Joe Flacco, ladies and gentlemen, he used to be a member of the Baltimore Ravens, if you guys recall, when, excuse me, when he helped the Baltimore Ravens win a Super Bowl back in New Orleans against the 49ers. So he used to be that Joe Flacco quarterback that we used to all know and who he truly is. So I think it's not really a bad idea for the Eagles probably go with a different approach and give Joe Flacco maybe a chance if it doesn't favor out in the Eagles and Jalen Hurts' favor. That's something the Eagles definitely might have to think about as they have 10 days off. Like it's almost like a mini bye week for the Philadelphia Eagles, so to speak. So, yeah, that's something they need to definitely think about. Yeah. It is definitely a. It is. I mean, you do not bench a young quarterback. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Danny. I completely agree with you on there. But again, I feel like Danny, when it comes to the NFL, my friend, in today's sports generation, right in front of our eyes, we are definitely seeing um, the next man up league in the National Football League. We're definitely seeing it. It's like the next man up system. It really is. I mean, flat out, it is the next man up system. It really is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree. I mean, a lot of people are saying that Nick Sirianni definitely needs to go. So I mean, folks, I just I don't know what to say about the Eagles organization. Yeah, Eric. I mean, it's mid season right now, buddy. It's mid season, and again, the Eagles can't afford another loss. So again, they have to think out. I mean, throughout this 10-day mini bye week for them, they need to strategize, and they need to figure out a different approach to exactly how they need to get their third win of the season. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, great point there, Danny. Great analogy. I could not have said it any better. Yeah, Jalen Hurst, ladies and gentlemen, his stats speak the truth here. 1,400 passing yards with 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And those, ladies and gentlemen, you combine them, they came in the last 2 games. So great pinpointing that out there, Danny. Nonetheless, so yeah, folks. You know, the NFC is wide open. It really is. Again, I mean, I go back and I talk about I go back to the first week of the regular season before the NFL regular season started, folks. And I did not see anybody challenging the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that NFC division. I mean, in the NFC conference and overall in general. But if you think about it, folks, now the Cardinals are peaking through midway through the season. They are currently at 5-0. And you got the Dallas Cowboys at 4-1, and you got the Green Bay Packers, who are currently right now. I think the Green Bay Packers right now, ladies and gentlemen, are 4-1. I could be wrong. Let's see who they. The Green Bay Packers are 4-1. They're going up against Justin Fields tomorrow, so they could be very well sitting at 5-1 tomorrow after tomorrow night's. Yeah, Chicago's 3-2. Chicago's 3-2, and the Green Bay Packers are 4-1. So, I mean, I think Justin Fields. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I went up against Justin Fields last week. I picked the Las Vegas Raiders to win that game last week against Justin Fields, but Justin Fields had a great performance in his debut throughout the 60 minutes of football that he played, and. They prevailed. They prevailed. Not to mention it was on the road too. It was in Allegiant Stadium. But again, the controversy started playing out against John Gruden and that Raiders organization. Yeah. I mean, and Danny, I will get to the Raiders tomorrow morning, buddy. I will get to the Raiders tomorrow morning. Again, they're now with an interim head coach. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts on John Gruden, though? And you know what, Danny? I don't know if you heard, buddy, but they're thinking about getting rid of his character on the Madden video game. Yeah, it definitely has gotten that. It definitely has gotten too far that they're definitely thinking about getting rid of his character from the Madden 22 video game, and it's crazy. I mean, I'm going to bring things back here to reality, to where we stand in today's generation. What happened to innocent until you're proven guilty? That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to get at here right now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the John Gruden thing just doesn't, it bothers me. I mean, a little bit, but at the same time, I don't want to get into politics. I don't know if it. Now, I don't know if it's really a politician. I don't know if it's a political thing or not. Not to mention, but I just feel like yeah, you're right. This generation is it is definitely something right in front of our eyes. I don't want to keep speaking into it. I don't want to get into deeper conversation about this generation. Not to mention it's just, how do you attack a person after 10 years? After 10 years, I mean, who gives a damn what's in your emails? I mean, to attack a person going through his emails, I don't know. I mean, you feel like you need a warrant to go after somebody's emails. You definitely do. I mean, there had to be some kind of hate to go through somebody's emails just like that. And I just don't know. I mean, this generation of ours, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but we'll get to all John Gruden. I'll get to all about him tomorrow morning, nonetheless. But again, I mean, they're dealing with an interim head coach now, and we know the Raiders now technically, tomorrow their faith is going to be really challenged. It's going to be put to the test when they tomorrow's matchup. I mean, we'll get to the Raiders tomorrow, of course, but they're going to be really tested tomorrow, folks. They're definitely going to be tested. That Raiders team is definitely going to be tested, and whoever they play tomorrow, I'll tell you right now, it does not look good for them. So, right now they're definitely looking out. I mean, they're looking for an official head coach for their organization, and we'll see who that head coach might be. But it just doesn't look good for that Raiders organization. And not to mention Justin Fields going up against a 4-1 Green Bay Packers team tomorrow. That tomorrow we have an early game. We have a 9:30 a.m. game tomorrow in London. That's the second straight week we have a London game. Yeah. So, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are traveling up to London. So we'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that. We are the early birds tomorrow morning, folks. So, and ladies and gentlemen, throughout our 4-hour show, we will definitely keep you up to date on that London game for sure. So tomorrow morning, tune in at 8 o'clock in the morning. It'll be a 4-hour show. It will be a 4-hour show, ladies and gentlemen, 8 o'clock a.m. to 12 p.m. We will talk about Jacksonville traveling up to London to face the Miami Dolphins. Yes, that will be an early game. And we'll give you the latest update, of course, throughout these 4-hour shows, and we'll see how it transpires. Truly how it transpires and unfolds. We did that last week between the New York Jets and the Atlanta Falcons. We stood through thick and thin throughout that football game for you. Unfortunately, I went with the Atlanta Falcons on that game last week. I picked the New York Jets for that game instead of the Atlanta Falcons. And guess what? The Atlanta Falcons prevailed. I thought the Jets were definitely going to come out in that football game, but the Jets definitely fell to 1-4 in that matchup. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how the Jacksonville Jaguars fares tomorrow. But it definitely does not look good for them. I don't know if the Jacksonville Jaguars could get a W. The question for me, Danny, it remains for that Jacksonville organization is there trust in that locker room still? Does the players still trust Urban Meyer? Is that chemistry there? I mean, are they fully committed to Urban Meyer? Has that organization finally going to come together still? And I don't see it. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, and the Jaguars finally prevail and do come up with a victory. But it's tough when you have to prepare and travel up to London, up to the United Kingdom, and you're sitting at right now 0-5 on the season, midway through the season, nonetheless. So Jacksonville is not getting a great treat at all. Not to mention a winless team is going up there representing that game. Absolutely, they need to be fully committed to Trevor Lawrence and Danny. Reports and according to sources did come out that Trevor Lawrence ain't going nowhere. He's not going anywhere, my friend. He's definitely going to be committed to that Jacksonville Jaguars for future years to come. He's definitely going to be committed to that team. Yes, he's definitely going to be committed. He's going to be definitely dedicated to that team for future years to come. And hopefully that's the case for Trevor Lawrence. He loves the Jacksonville Jaguars, and his desire and his football passion is his heart. His heart is there. But it's all about Urban Meyers. All right. If Urban Meyers cannot get that organization together, cannot get that Jacksonville Jaguars back up to par to where they need to be as an organization, as a franchise. If you go back and you recall, Danny, Jacksonville was a great team back then. When New England Patriots still had Tom Brady, and Jacksonville Jaguars made it to the playoffs, and they were truly they were Super Bowl contenders nonetheless. They had a great defense. They had a great offense, and all of a sudden, then they did not trust their quarterback, who they shipped to Los Angeles Rams. Who was it? Was it Blake Bortles? Oh my God, Blake Bortles was such a great quarterback to that Jacksonville Jaguars team. You have no idea. And then all of a sudden, they lost faith in Blake Bortles. They lost really trust and faith in him. And he was a great asset and valuable team to that Jacksonville Jaguars team. Everything all of a sudden fell apart. Not to mention Jalen Ramsey. He lost faith in that Jacksonville Jaguars team, and he went to the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know what's going on. With teams not fully trusting and committing to their teams that they are with. And sometimes the people sometimes professional athletes, and I'm not just talking about football in general. Sometimes money plays a factor, but some people tend to look for a different atmosphere, for a different play style where they want to go play, and they don't want to stay to that team that they're committed to. And then you got to think about the radio frequency identification sensor, Danny. That little small piece, that radio identification sensor, buddy, the RFID, that plays a big factor too. And that really played a factor in the college years too. When, you had college coaches, not just college coaches who were scouting players, but you were talking professional coaches who were scouting college players transitioning over to the NFL. But then that also plays a big factor when you're also in the NFL too. Give or take in a couple, in a week, and 1 year or 2 years, not to mention their assets starts playing a big factor, and it goes down because they're not performing at that elite position that they are truly supposed to be performing at. And they all of a sudden, they start getting tired of the team that they are with, and they go out there during the offseason and they look to see where that window of opportunity is there to pursue when it comes to, draft picks, or when it comes to, money talks, and then BS walks, pretty much is where I'm trying to get at here. And profit also plays valuable in the NFL. And players start giving up. They start giving up. So Blake Bortles, again, he was a great quarterback to that Jacksonville Jaguars team, and not to mention Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette, he was a former Jacksonville Jaguar player, a former running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And look at where he went. He went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because the Buccaneers have Tom Brady, and they have all this great offensive weapons now that Tom Brady has. And I don't know how the heck Tom Brady does it, man, because Tom Brady is just Tom Brady. I don't know what his true secret is, folks, that he leaves the New England Patriots organization after winning 6 Super Bowls, and then for the first time in NFL history, the guy goes to Tampa Bay, and in one season of an instinct, he wins a Super Bowl like that, without the mention of a controversy of deflated footballs. There was no deflated footballs. There was nothing so to speak of. And the guy is so, I don't know how the heck he does it. I don't know what's his secret, folks. But they're going to call him the GOAT of the GOATs of the National Football League, the greatest guy of all time. And I don't know whether to take notes on the guy. I don't know whether to respect him or just hate the guy in general. I mean, right now I'm right now talking like Chucky, so to speak. I don't know whether to take notes from the guy or just disrespect the guy in general. I just don't know what's his true secret. What's his asset? Why is Tom Brady Tom Brady? Why is he truly Tom Brady that he says that he is? And why the heck does this guy want to truly be committed and dedicated to playing until the age of 50 years old? I mean, the guy, ladies and gentlemen, he's not a human being. I'm sorry. I don't know what Tom Brady, man. I mean, the guy reminds me of a version of Michael Myers in the National Football League. I mean, look at this. I mean, let's bring Halloween Kills up a little bit here, even though Halloween Kills is a movie and it's not anything involving sports. But folks, you're talking Michael Myers, who is at the age of 66 years old. And a lot of people have saw Halloween Kills this past week when his movie debuted on yesterday, October 15th. And it's breaking records in cinemas right now. The guy is 60-something years old, and he's taking hits like he's still 20 years of age, so to speak. Michael Myers is taking hits like he's 20 years old, folks. And I mean, when you beat the guy, when you beat him senseless, when you shoot him, when you stab him to death, whatever you do to Michael Myers, ladies and gentlemen, he still comes back. And Tom Brady is to me is like the version of Michael Myers. The guy continues to stay healthy and consistent and in top shape, and for throughout the off season that his body is just something so endless. I don't know how he keeps his body so in shape that he just continues to play great football nonetheless, and he wants to play until the age of 50 years old. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's yeah. It's all about that offensive line. It is all about that offensive line, Danny. I mean, they're protecting him. It is insane. It is insane how that team just builds up tremendously great in 1 year. I mean, for Tom Brady to jump ship from Tampa, from New England to Tampa Bay. Oh yeah. He definitely could fold. Absolutely, he could fold. I mean, if you look back to that Eagles Super Bowl run that they had, Tom Brady, man, you can figure out where Tom Brady's weakness is, and it's all about getting them uncomfortable in the pocket. Absolutely. I mean, you could not have said that any better, Danny. It's all about the offensive line. If that offensive line, ladies and gentlemen, if it was beat up, Tom Brady would not be where he is today. I'll tell you that much right now. And Tom Brady would be beat up, and he would be folded like a lawn chair. I mean, so to speak, like the way the video games. When they put that vocabulary in perspective, when the quarterbacks get sacked, that they are folded into a lawn chair, folks. That the Tom Brady, ladies and gentlemen, that's where the answer is. It's all about getting Tom Brady uncomfortable in the pocket. You cannot have justified Danny that word any better. Yeah. So you go back to that Super Bowl run for the Philadelphia Eagles, and It's all about getting Tom Brady uncomfortable. Yeah, it really is. You cannot have justified that any better. You worded that great, not to mention, but Tom Brady, man, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, folks. I cannot justify that. I really can't. It is what it is, but he continues to prevail nonetheless. All right, so. Yeah, I mean he is the greatest of all time, and So he continues to do what no other quarterback, I think, is currently doing right now in our generation of sports. And it's incredibly insane. It's incredibly insane. All right. Appreciate everybody coming in here tonight, interacting. You guys are a really, really great audience, nonetheless. You guys are tremendous, no doubt about it. I mean, what a great Saturday night spent with you all. This is awesome stuff. Even though NFL is supposed to be talked about tomorrow morning, but again, ladies and gentlemen, we're all ears, no doubt about it for you. This is what we're all about. We're here for you. We're here to make this 4-hour show the best it can be, no doubt about it. This is what Worldwide Sports Updates is all about. Your podcast, your news, to interacting with the latest updates that is happening around the world of sports in our generation, in our industry of what's happening across the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL hockey, everything, so to speak, folks. This is what we're definitely here, and we're committed to each and every week, day of the weekend, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturdays, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., 4-hour show. And on Sunday, 8 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m., folks, giving the latest updates on NFL news that is happening across the nation. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, again, on Sunday morning's podcast, we will talk all the college football recaps that happened in Week 7. We will go all over them again. Again, a lot of upsets in college football today, so to speak. We did go over BYU losing to Baylor, and then we talked about Iowa State Hawkeyes losing to Purdue, ladies and gentlemen, to a team that's unranked. 24-7, folks, was the final score in that game. Crazy, crazy stuff. So a lot of upsets in college football, so to speak. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, again, Zach Ertz is now officially a new member of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people have asked me, is Zach Ertz going to be playing this Sunday? The answer is no. He will not be playing this Sunday because he did finish a game on Thursday when he was still a member of the Philadelphia Eagles against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Zach Ertz will not make his official debut until Week 7 of the NFL. So we'll see if the Cardinals will be undefeated by Week 7. They play against the Cleveland Browns tomorrow. And you're not going to like my prediction for that game, folks. They're on the road, especially. They're on the road. You're not going to like my prediction for that one. We'll get to that tomorrow, though. I already spoiled it, but you're not going to like the prediction, what's going to come out from the latest update from my mouth regarding the Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns tomorrow. I'm also going to get into more details to why I like the home team in that game tomorrow. So we'll get into the latest updates on that. So I gave it away, but again, it's supposed to be Cleveland versus Arizona tomorrow. So we'll get to all that and more again for your latest updates. No doubt about it. But that's what we're here for. Eric, my friend, if you're still on here, hopefully I answered everything for you, my friend. Please let me know if I did miss anything. But hopefully I answered all of your questions. Again, buddy, you go back and you asked me, is there possible that a losing team will make the playoffs this year? Yes. The answer to that is yes. A losing team will possibly host a wild card game. We'll possibly be seeing a 7-10 team make the playoffs and host a playoff game. And there's a good possibility they might advance to the division round too. So it's going to be very interesting. But the question is, who's going to come out 7-10 in that NFC to possibly host a playoff game and maybe raise some eyebrows? And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. There could be possibly that we could see a 7-10 team make history in the making, folks, where they could possibly go all the way and they can go to the Super Bowl and win it all. So something to keep in mind, folks. Again, the playoffs, it's all about any given Sunday, folks. And not to mention, according to sources that's been coming out and according to reports, latest on the research, that the playoffs is now thinking about a different approach for the playoffs this year. They're thinking about hosting a Monday night game for the playoffs this year. So don't ask me why. I don't know. But they're thinking about hosting a Monday night game. But again, folks, something to look forward to. This how the 18 game schedule is going to look. How's it going to prevail? How's it going to unfold? Even though we get that extra week of football, which is really good for sports fans. Not to mention, a lot of people who love the NFL, who love the nature of football. And a lot of people go out to bars and they have a couple beers and their wings, especially their wings, that have that extra week of football, in the month of January, speaks a whole lot. And not to mention it looks great. It looks great for the bars organization. For bar businesses organizations, for small businesses, when it comes to local bars in the community. It's great for, to have January football, to get that extra week, possibly instead of having one game in January, you might possibly have 2 games in January, or 2 games in January instead of 1 game in January, which will be pretty awesome stuff, before the official playoff week begins. And then not to mention the Super Bowl happening instead of the beginning of February, it might happen in mid-February. So something to look forward to in this 18-game schedule, nonetheless. So we'll see how all that truly unfolds with this 18-game schedule. No doubt about it. But Eric, hopefully I answered your question, buddy. That a 7-10 team could very well happen this upcoming season. Very well can. It very well can. We could possibly see a 7-10 team host the playoffs, and they might make a deep run. Yeah. Which is something weird, but at the same time something to look forward to. And it could get very scary too, because if you think about it, we had a couple winless teams back in the day, before we did have this 8-team schedule come about, where they did go to the Super Bowl and they hosted the Super Bowl and they won it, even with a losing record. So we've seen it before. And by the way, it wasn't the New York Giants who did that, folks. It was the Seattle Seahawks who did that, who had a losing record. I think it was 7-9 that season. I don't recall what season it was. Excuse me, but they had a 7-9 record. They went all the way to the playoffs, went to the Super Bowl, and they won it with a losing record. And that was the last team to do that, was the Seattle Seahawks, folks. So, I don't want to go back. I forgot which year it was, but they were the last team to do that. But the New York Giants, folks, they were the 6th seed, before this 18-game schedule. Okay, they were the 6th seed, and they had a 9-7 record, back-to-back. Not back-to-back seasons, but in a couple seasons, where they were the 6th seed, and again, they went the whole way. They went in the wild card round, and not to mention they did it in great fashion. All road games. They did not host one playoff home game when they were 9-7, folks. When the Giants were 9-7, they did not host a home playoff game, none whatsoever. So they were 9-7, and they went all the way, 3 road games: wild card, division round, and the championship round. And all of a sudden, they went to the Super Bowl and they played the Patriots, and they knocked the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl with a 9-7 record. So it's not like it hasn't been done before, folks. It truly has, and you never know. We might see it right in front of our eyes this year. History could repeat itself. You never know who that surprising 7-10 team might make it in this 18-week game schedule span in the NFL and make a run. to go all the way to host a wild card game, possibly host a wild card game at home. And then the division and the championship round is going to be, of course, on the road. And taking that home team out of the equation, out of the picture, and possibly making a Super Bowl run. You never know. It could happen, ladies and gentlemen. Again, anything could happen in the playoffs. The playoffs are kind of like anything, like I mentioned, could happen in the playoffs, and it's very unpredictable. So we'll see it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting playoff season, nonetheless, of how things are going to be thrown right in front of our eyes. And we're all looking forward to it, nonetheless. All right. Major League Baseball updates. Let's give you that. Currently, right now, the game is tied, bottom of the fourth inning. Score is Dodgers 2 and the Atlanta Braves 2. So that game is in the tie right now, 2 apiece. Bottom of the fourth inning. And they're in a National League Championship Series matchup between the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. And the Dodgers, they beat in the National League Division round, they beat the San Francisco Giants. Hats off to the San Francisco Giants, by the way. I mean, they went great, went to 5 games, I believe. Yeah, they went 5 games. The Dodgers tied 2-2, and all of a sudden, the Giants they gave the Dodgers a limited test, no doubt about it. And they took them all the way. They definitely did. So, congratulations, nonetheless, to the San Francisco Giants. Hats off to them, though. And we give them their respect. They'll come back. They'll learn from this. This is a learning experience for the San Francisco Giants. I mean, even though you hate to see them go out this way, they had 105 wins. 105 wins or 106 wins in the season, or 107, so to speak. And their season had to come to an end. But again, they had a tremendous season nonetheless. But it had to get cut short, and that's pretty much the way the cookie crumbles. All right. So yeah, right now, ladies and gentlemen, 2-2 is your current score there between the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves in the National League Championship Series. All right. Anybody else? We're all ears for you guys. Anybody else want to talk about something before we get into NHL hockey regular season? Before we do get into NHL hockey, we're going to go back to college football Saturday real quick. We're going to cover what's going on with the latest updates in college football Saturday before we do jump ship to NHL hockey regular season. We did talk about the NBA. We did cover Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving situation, ladies and gentlemen. Again, these guys are thinking about making a stand. They're trying to get their voices heard. Again, we don't know the latest update on when Ben Simmons will make his official debut, when he's gonna play basketball. But once we hear the latest, we'll give it latest up to date to you guys, no doubt about it. So once we hear it, we'll let you guys hear it as well. And then as far as Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets organization, who knows when he's gonna play. But ladies and gentlemen, right now it's all about Kyrie Irving and his health. His health is more important. A lot of people are against him. A lot of people are with him on his latest approach. And it's all about that collective bargaining agreement and how that NBA is going to change their collective bargaining agreement after the pandemic, how they're going to come up with a different approach after the pandemic for a different approach in the NBA. And we're definitely going to be looking at a different approach in the NBA after the pandemic, because that collective bargaining agreement is going to make some noise, and it's going to be playing a big factor in the NBA and how the NBA is going to come up with a different approach in the NBA league, not so to speak, folks. So something to look forward to, something to definitely come to come, news to come on the latest from the NBA, and we're going to be definitely looking forward to it, and we're going to give you the latest updates across the NBA organization on exactly how that collective bargaining agreement is going to come up with a different approach for the NBA, or are the NBA players going to take a are they going to officially go on strike? That could happen, folks. Yeah, if it doesn't go the NBA's way, will the NBA players go on strike and possibly look at a lockdown? Possibly, you never know. So things definitely to come here from the NBA's perspective. Exactly how things are going to be really approached from the NBA's point of view, nonetheless. All right. We are going to take a short break. I really do need a short break here. We'll be right back, folks. When we do come back, we are going to talk. So we're going to be on the blank screen for a couple minutes. All right. When we do come back, though, so ladies and gentlemen, don't think that your feed is going into interruption mode. We're just going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back nonetheless. And we're going to give you actually some highlights here from the previous game from the Red Sox, actually. So yeah, we're going to throw some highlights out there while we are on commercial break. Red Sox versus the Astros from game 2. I mean, hopefully there's highlights, game recap. Maybe we can go over that, or maybe we can go over highlights. Let me see here. Do they even have game 2 highlights? I'm pretty sure they do. Let me check here, folks, real quick. Game 2 highlights. Maybe they do not. All right. Well, oh no, here it is. Never mind. Okay. So we do have some game 2 highlights from the Boston Red Sox versus the Houston Astros. All right. So while we're on commercial break, you are going to hear highlights from game 2 that transpired tonight. Again, Boston won that game 9-5. They tied the game 1 apiece. But we're going to go on commercial break. When we come back, though, we are going to talk college football games, again, that transpired earlier today on Saturday. And we're going to go through the games that happened today, of course, that are happening actually right now, currently at your fingertips, at your doorstep. But we're going to go through college football games, and then we're going to talk NHL hockey. The NHL hockey has officially kicked off their regular season. So we're going to go over what transpired yesterday, recap yesterday's games, and what games are happening today, right at your fingertips. So all that and more coming up, and then we'll answer more questions from people that are tuning in to this podcast with the latest updates, of course, reactions, concerns. We're all here for you guys for 4 hours nonetheless. But we're going to take a commercial break. When we do come back, of course, we are going to talk about more college football games for you. And then we'll continue with Major League Baseball updates coverage as the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves are in the top of the 5th inning. Game is tied 2 game apiece right now. So we'll be right back. We're not going to leave you guys high and dry in the dust. All right. We're going to give you live coverage. Game recap coverage of the Boston Red Sox versus the Houston Astros game 2 highlights. So we're going to take a brief break. Okay. When we come back, we'll be back. Of course, we're not going anywhere. We'll be right back. And we'll continue with our college football Saturday. Again, we're going to talk college football Saturday. We're going to talk NHL hockey. We're going to break down college hockey news for you guys. And we're going to talk some NFL injuries, too. I forgot about all the NFL injuries to all the fantasy league owners that play fantasy football out there. We're going to recap some NFL injuries that did come in today, but also we'll recap that again tomorrow morning as well. So we'll give you the latest updates on the injuries nonetheless. All right. Excuse me. All right, so we'll go through all that nonetheless for you. All right, we'll be right back. Here is Here is some coverage from Game 2 of the Astros versus the Red Sox. All right.
There's no weakness for JD Martinez against right-handers. You look at every pitch he's faced, with the exception of the split finger, he has dominated every pitch and pretty good with runners in scoring position too. Red Sox are 0 for their last 12 with runners on. JD Martinez can change that and put Boston on top. Guy who slugged .619 against right-handed breaking balls. Number 2 in baseball to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. What a chance for Boston here in the first. The only area he's struggled this year has been away, the outer third of the plate. That's where you can get him out. I felt as a pitcher with the bases loaded, I always wanted an aggressive hitter, not this kind of hitter who's patient, won't expand the zone. You've got to make pitches here. Red Sox DH. Hits it in the air to right. Back at the wall. It's gone. Grand slam, JD Martinez. And a fourth spot in the first inning for the Red Sox in Game 2. Well, now that 0-2 situation in Devers looks even bigger. And that's, again, everyone forgot about that. But as a pitcher, you know that's what you can't allow to happen against a great offensive team. Because the more runners that are on base, the more stress pitches you have to make, the harder it's going to be to navigate through this lineup. And you don't want to see guys in a cart. Now when it's the Red Sox, taking his ride down the dugout. And a grand slam in the first inning. Ball one outside now to Renfroe. The last Red Sox grand slam of the postseason was hit by Jackie Bradley Jr. in ALCS Game 3 here in Houston. It might have been his best pitch of the inning. That breaking ball for a strike to Renfroe, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just amazing to me. Once a property of the Astros, JD Martinez decided he had to change his swing. His swing looked like no other swing in the game, and he started studying it and changing it, and oh my, has it changed his career. Yeah, maybe some work as hard, but nobody works harder on swinging the bat and mechanics than JD Martinez. He just has the head down, barrel through the ball. He has all the drills you can imagine, some you've never heard of, some you've never seen, but they all work for him. And last year, out-of-body experience, no video, no structure that he was used to, had a bad year, and everyone thought, well, maybe he's going downhill. Nope. For JD, his first postseason home run this year, after hitting 28 during the regular season, no decline there.